Sweating in the sun, felt like a man, felt like number one, height of summer. I never felt that strong, like a rock.
Conservative, logical Mgtow here. Um, I was watching again. I was watching a number of videos, and I came across essentially the one of many that are completely brain dead, clueless, kidding, way beyond kidding themselves. Type of video where a woman had a videotape of one woman setting up her husband or boyfriend, basically both in this case, I guess. And she opted out to basically find a hitman to kill the blue pill dude, and she wanted that to be done. So basically, the logical part of it was the fact that the person that she asked to do the hit went over to the state and county police and told the police that he has a complete more than stir crazy and psycho type of woman that wanted um her husband or boyfriend again to be killed. Um, that way, she obviously showed that as I watched it more, it showed the fact that once he was dead, that she'd be able to go into the safety deposit box and get the things of his that would basically increase her wealth. Although they were living just like you and I, moderately anyway. I mean, working and all, but but the basic fact is that she wanted more out of him, and she didn't like the fact that she was only getting what was logical, realistic. She wanted more, way beyond the logical and realistic aspects, right? So she figured the only way she can get that is by having the dude dead and trying to make it look like it was an accident or something, you know, or a suicide for that matter. And so this woman again that was on the video had the same video anyway, where the woman met up with a undercover cop, unbeknownst to her, and and therefore eventually they did some more investigation um, behind about her and everything, and about the dude that she wanted apparently to be bumped off. And she ended up the one to be in prison. Yet right when she saw that her husband or boyfriend was still alive, she wanted him to come closer to her so she can mentally, psychologically, and emotionally manipulate her and manipulate essentially him essentially by batting her eyes and all this other shit that females do. The basic fact is that no guy that has any actual balls would fall for that shit. Come here, come here. I didn't do anything. Bull fucking shit, you didn't do anything. You tried to get your boyfriend or your husband killed, you little bitch. That's essentially what all women want, is they want things to benefit them. As I said before, they want things to benefit them. They don't care about the guy. I've said that even in my Facebook posts, man, they don't fucking give a shit about the guy as much as they claim. Like I said, there's when they say positive things, there's no true positive emotional psychological feeling behind it. And if a guy falls for it, even though there's no, then the dude's a fucking schmuck. The dude's a fucking no balls, no respect for himself type of blue pill. Essentially, he has no gumption, no real respect for himself if he falls for a woman that claims all these positive emotional things, but there's no true feeling to bind it. Women are good to do that. That's basic. That's more than basic and general manipulation. Psychological, emotional manipulation. Why do men fall for it? Because they truly love the person. That's one. Why do men put up with it? Because they still love the person. Still one. Why do men end up regretting it? Because they realize that whole thing, and at times it's too late for them to even do a damn thing about it because they can't afford to do anything about it. Because the woman got them for everything that the asshole has, or had for that matter. Now, men have an option to do one thing: leave the bitch. Don't believe anything she says, even if it does sound positive, and if it does emotionally feel positive, even in the psychological aspect and manner. And go Mgtow. Take the metaphorical red pill. Stay away from manipulating bitches that are following the mindset and the control aspect of the feminist movement. See how long they last. Seriously, see how long they last. They'll come running back to you every fucking time. If they can't find any other schmuck to manipulate, they'll come right back to you, as I said before. That's the truth. That's the fucking truth. Many men don't see it, but it's the truth. Of course, in the same video, this woman that claims to know about men and women was only going by the feminine feeling of when it comes to the man on the video that she showed. So, and she acted like she knew psychology and she knew the male conception of what he would do and everything else, and the woman was completely fucking brain dead. she was all trying to act all professional about it and everything, and the fucking bitch doesn't know shit about men. All she's doing is trying to piece the thing together like women do, just so they can manipulate the watcher, being male or female, whichever the case, and have it but sound so fucking believable that the guy would stay blue pill and fucking fall for the manipulative bitches out there. And if the woman's watching this video, I tell it how it is. And how it really is the woman that was all trying to act all professionals and act as if she knows psychology and shit, which she does not, obviously. And she thinks she knows the human cons- uh, aspiration or whatever to the male psyche. She doesn't. Women don't. They just want to act like they do most of the time, if not all the time. That makes them feel better about themselves when they think that people believe every little bullshit that they say. They feel this high versus this way. You know what I mean? But that's not that's that's the truth. No male knows a woman fully because women don't want to open up themselves as much as they claim that they want the guy to do for them. But yet, here's the one thing: if the guy opens up, who's to say the woman's going to do the same thing? The woman hardly ever does it. The woman really doesn't open up, even if it does sound like it or even look like it. The woman is not truly opening up. So, men and Mgtow members and brothers, do not fall for that shit. Women don't know shit about us. All they're going by is the feminine, female aspiration and feeling of, this may be where he's going. And then automatically um, follow that and just voice it. I mean, that's logic right there. That's the truth. And yet, the same woman was a feminist. She claimed and she tried to hide that she was a feminist, but I could already see that she was, especially the way she addressed herself and the way she just worded out things, as if she was educated about the situation, matter, and what have you, or issue. It's interesting how I mentioned about my first ex. She thought she knew me too well. She did think she knew me too well. She didn't know me or the hole in the wall. Yet, like I said in one of my other videos of Mgtow, that that I risked my job to go on trips with her and her parents separately, granted. Like I said, one trip was with her father and his fiance, and the other trip was with her mother and her fiance, her mother's fiance. Golly, man, I tell you, the women, like I said, and I don't mean to repeat myself, but the basic fact is that if you want a woman to come with you on a trip, she'll back out. She'll make some bullshit excuse when she knows that when you're not when you're not around, that she'll be able to cheat on you and fucking bullshit you about it and say, "Oh, I never did. I never cheated on you." But the basic fact is that the only way you'll be able to find out if she did cheat on you is if you were able to medically put a fucking camera right in her eye, right behind her eyes there, and even while she's sleeping, you'll be able to see what she's not doing, like the bionic woman type of shit. I mean, we do have I believe we do have the technology, but they wouldn't, they would not opt for it. And be that, of course, they wouldn't go for it. But yet they'd expect us to do that for them. I'm sure. I'm more than sure of it. And yet they would try to entice us into doing so, and so they can replay of what we did, and what we didn't do. So they would have substantiated proof. And this is, I'm not giving out any ideas, but the basic fact is, between the two aspects, between a guy wanting a woman to do that, so the guy knows what the fuck she's doing and what she's not doing, versus the woman doing that same shit to the guy, to where she knows what we men are doing and not doing. You know what I mean? But here's the one thing that took the same woman that I dated, which being of course my first fiance, I met on a bus, city bus, over in Silicon Valley. And she was taking a trip somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but it was on the 34 when before they changed the 34 bus route, as they did. That I found out when I went back to Silicon Valley. And I was heading to work, or be that I was heading to Target. I was working for Target in Cupertino at the time, and she was either heading home or something. I can't really remember exactly because it's been a while. Plus I guess in my own way, I I completely erased it. But the basic fact is that I know she was going somewhere. Um, but in any case, the clincher is the fact that I did practically everything that I felt was logical to do for her. That way, I'd be able to be with her, and she'd be able to be with me. And yet, she went behind my back and cheated on me twice. One time over, she went and cheated on me with a fucking schmuck that worked at Valco, one of the Valco stores, Valco mall stores, you know. And then she went behind my back and cheated on me with some other dude that were friends with my female friends as well. Her female friends being by the names of Barbara and Janet. When Barbara and Janet lived in Senegal at the time, I paged her and paged her and paged her. no response. So I ended up going down there, finding out what the fuck was going on. I was going to confront her ass about the whole thing too and see if she wanted to do something. Little did I know that she was doing something with somebody else. And while he was sitting on the recliner, she hung over his ass like a fucking little, like a little fucking puppy. Yet, weeks after I broke it off with her, even though if you ask her, she'll try to say that she broke it off with me, which is a load of shit. Because if she did, she would have fucking had the balls to fucking confront me and tell me why and whatnot else. But she didn't. So therefore, I broke it off with her. I just walked away and said, "Fuck this shit," you know. But anyway, I was hanging out about weeks after or so, about a month to a week after, or weeks after actually, whichever the case. The dude comes over and sees me right there. He was fucking fearing me. I can guarantee you. The basic fact is that the dude wasn't sure exactly my reaction, or even if I had any intent of hurting him. I didn't have any intent of hurting him, but he didn't know that. But the basic fact is you know about what you saw the however long ago, and I'm like, yeah. Well, she told me that she wasn't seeing anybody. I'm like, well, she lied to you, didn't she? Well, I didn't know that until you showed up. I'm like, but you didn't do anything. Well, she told me to stay right where I was. I go, you don't have any balls then. I was thinking that you don't have any fucking balls for yourself, dude. I was thinking it. I didn't say it. And I go, well, don't worry about it. The past is the past. I broke it off with her, and I haven't seen her since then. By the way, the person I'm referring to is Jill Yamond, aka now known as Jill Dixon, which basically I found out, as I said before, I found out that she's now married. And 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 she has kids, but the basic fact is that I was friends with her again, but yet here's one thing that her now husband, doesn't know. And I'm gonna say it, whether she likes it or not. I don't give a damn. The basic fact is that Chris Dixon, if you're watching this video, I'm gonna tell you straight out, when you were out trying to do some work to make some money, she was on the phone with me, wanting me to come down and and hang with her. That can depending on how long you were out, that could have meant many different things. That the fact that she was going to cheat on you and try to turn on me as if I was the culprit, as if and forced her onto it, which I didn't, which I wouldn't have anyway, and to where it would give you a reason, Chris, to beat the shit out of me. Instead of believing me, many men have the mindset of believing the woman over over the male that's telling the absolute fucking truth. Although there are times where the guy's bullshitting him, and at times the guy still gets his shit big bit out of him anyway. And that's the truth. It usually goes towards what the woman says versus what the guy says. Even if what the guy says is actuality and what the woman says is bullshit. On and you know, Chris, the one thing is that I respect you, Chris Dixon, I respect you. I consider you a friend of mine, even though we haven't talked much, if hardly at all, even on the phone or on Facebook. But the basic fact is, I'm telling you straight fact of how she is, of how all women are. That's why I'm going Mgtow right now, the metaphorical red pill. But staying away from controlling, manipulative, lying bitches. And also those women who expect to have more, shall we say, entitlement over what the guy wants. As long as you give what they want, they'll give what you want when they decide to. But when they say, I'll give you, if you give me this, I'll give you that. Or if you give me these things, I'll give you this. You know? And then right when you do that shit, then they fucking say, oh, I didn't say that. You be looking at them going like, yeah, right. They do that way too fucking much though. That's the thing. They do that way too fucking much. They've done it even before the feminist movement. But the basic fact is, even while they're working, they're still doing it. And yes, Chris Dixon, many women, and I'm gonna tell Chris Dixon if he's watching this video, and I'm gonna tell every male that's not Mgtow, and because of many of the Mgtow members besides myself, and of course I'm a Mgtow member, um, know this already. Many women will say a whole lot of shit that sounds so fucking believable, and then right when you fucking do this shit, they turn around and act as if they didn't say it. And here's another one. Chris Dixon and many non-Mgtow members, because like I said, Mgtow brothers and members already know this. They will use an innocent child, it doesn't matter what age it is, and use it as a pawn over your head, saying if you don't do anything while holding, it's like just picture this: she's holding a child at any your child that you had with her at any age over your head, saying if you don't do this, I'm leaving, and you won't be and you won't be able to see you won't be able to see them anymore. Manipulation, mental psychological manipulation. It's obvious. Yet many guys fall for that shit. That's the truth. They'll come up with bullshit that sounds believable to them. Try to make it believable to you, but believe me, that's their mental psychological manipulation tactic. if they don't get what they want, what they feel more entitled to from you, the male, then they will do exactly anything they think they can just to have more control over you. They won't admit it. They won't even fucking come out and say it because they know if they came out and said that fucking fact and truth, just like fucking liberal politicians, then that's where they lose. That's where they'll find out that the guy completely will just walk the other way, even before starting a relationship, or even as they attempt to start a relationship. If they were to open up and say, "This is how I am, and this is how I'll be with children and everything else," but here's how I'll be as long as you give me what I want, and this is how I'll be and how I'll act and what I'll do if you don't give me what I want. What I feel entitled to. That's exactly many of the things that they will not fucking openly admit because they expect you to fucking fall for it and go by what they want and say. And yet, when they know you're working on doing that, somewhere in between, however long it takes, just like what Jill did, Jill Yeaman, aka Jill Dixon, did, in the sense that she calls me up. We're talking, just friendly aspects because we're friends and everything. We were friends at the time anyway, and of course, Chris was okay with this, with the fact that we were friends because I was friends with him and I'm still friends with him regardless. But anyway, she wanted me to come over. That can mean many different things. And I'm not gonna say it meant anything sexual because I'm not gonna just say, oh yeah, this is what it meant. Yeah, it could have meant many different things. But I was too smart to fucking fall for it because I've heard so many shit from women. It's not funny. So if she were to call me again and want me to take this video down, there's no way in hell I'd do it because I'm voicing the truth of how women are, and I will keep on voicing the truth of how women are, even if it's not on video. And here's the thing too is that the woman that was trying to act all psychological professional, she acted like she knew exactly what the next move was. But here's the one thing though. She watched the video before she did anything, so she was able to say exactly what was going to happen next. But yet she acted like she knew the guy more than she really truly does, as if she knew this is how men are. And yet she had how women manipulate men title of the video. There's many ways women manipulate men. It's not vocal all the time. It's not touchy feely type of things. I mean there's many fucking ways women do this shit, and it's all due to the feminist movement too. To start with, instead of having it equal like the ERA had it for both male and female, but well, of course they were the ERA was marching and protesting for women's rights, equality, and independence and everything. But yet, women even nowadays are disfiguring it to what fits and benefits them, instead of keeping it the way it was put out there for, and the way it was put out there, informed essentially, to where both males and both male and females were equal in society. Both sides were getting a fair share of what they want and needed. Women, women have manipulated men way beyond that, and then here comes feminist movement, making it a lot worse. And now many women are saying, "Where are the good men? Where are the good men? Where are my where are the ones that are going to be would be my slaves and giving me what I want?" Gee, I wonder. Women have said that men have treated them like slaves. Therefore, in all aspects, even during the feminist movement, that's why women are acting the way they are right now, because they want to fucking feed what they were supposedly fed by men. That's the feminist movement aspect right there. But they don't want you to see that. They don't want even men to know that, because they feel that men are completely clueless. And I was listening to a YouTube recording of the Tom Leykis show. The dude is 100% right about women. I can guarantee you right now. And I've been listening to him off and on actually. How to know if a woman's easy type of shit and all this sort of stuff. Um, and what type of, it will be there, of course, what type of drinks they drink if you know that they're easy. And also, although it may sound like Howard Stern, but it's not. Anyway, let's see. This one he had one on the aspect of spring break. I was listening to yesterday, and it got to the point as to where the truth and actual fact that women do cheat equal, if not more so, more than men do, even nowadays, while they're on spring break. Even if they're with a male already, and if they go out of state or even say out of state into Florida or Cancun or whatever for spring break, they'll still have the loud party and then cheat on you, and then completely come back all faithful, innocent, and loving, caring, all the bullshit that they want men to fucking fall for, as if as if the woman would never do any wrong. And they would keep that of what they did at spring break. They would completely keep that hidden from their boyfriend, fiance, or whatever. And their friends would help them out by backing the woman up, by keeping it from the male, that the fact that they fucking cheated on him. But yet when you do it to them, then they have a fucking more than a hissy fit. If you go on spring break and they don't, and they wait for you, and you go out and cheat, then they'll have a fucking hissy fit. they'll think that they have more of a justified reason to bitch and moan and complain. But when they do it, it's okay, just because it was out of state and everything. Wake up, women! It doesn't matter if you cheat, even out of state. It fucking matters. Hell, it fucking more than matters. Equally to if a man did it to you, to the women, essentially. Women think they have figured out men, and women think that men will never figure out women. This one has, and I will not ever forget it. And now I looked through the YouTube thing on my phone, and it claims even angry Mgtow claimed that one particular female, which was a former feminist, essentially according to him, I told you so. Who gives a shit? This is not child act, angry Mgtow. Oh, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Don't ever do that. And yet you're supposed to be a fucking grown up, angry Mgtow. Don't think so. If you're gonna be, well, I told you so. I told you. I knew this was gonna happen. I told you so. Just because you feel you want to be justified as you're always right about every little thing. Mm, not a very good Mgtow member. But in any case, the fact of it is, I saw a number of videos that claim that women are dropping the aspect of feminism. If that were true, it would have happened like a fucking domino effect from even before the videos were made. There hasn't been one indication of that. And yet so many men are still going Mgtow. And many women are still wondering why. Why are men pulling away from marriage? Why are men pulling away from women in relationships? Why are men not opting out essentially for so we can manipulate their asses and get everything that we can from them? That's the whole thing. From why are men opting out from marriage? Why are men pulling away from relationships with women? It all goes to the point to where why are men not allowing us to manipulate them and take everything that they have for us, women? Why are men not allowing themselves to be our slaves and do what we want and what we feel that know that we're entitled to? And who need to accept the men need to also accept the fact that we don't care about what men are entitled to. It's all about us women because we're the weaker sex of the gender. And yet, of course, the one other woman that I played on my phone, if you on one of my other videos, she called men in the sense of MGTOW men, of course, misogynistic. That shows how little she knows about men. Even if she has dated, yes, she has. Yet she wants to act like she knows men more than men know themselves. And with that also is that the women wonder why men are pulling away from the aspect of marriage, from the aspect of relationship with a woman, to the point to where they're actually independent, where the men are feel independent and strong and free from the mental psychological manipulation done by women. Oh, what a tangle web we weave. Women don't ya? Once you get a guy, you automatically think you can learn about him, and then you think you have him. You think you're able to fucking do anything you choose to him, especially when it comes to cheating on him, be that spring break for college and high school students, and also when it comes to relationships outside of the high school and college educational aspect to it while in the relationship with the guy. And yet you want fairness, you want equality. Women want fairness and equality and respect. Yet they turn around and do the opposite to men. Women and men have never been equal. Women and men have respected each other to a point. Of course, when a woman does shit that's not logical and not realistic and not respectful, then yeah, the guy's gonna fucking retaliate. But of course, at the same time, there are men that retaliate the wrong way. But of course, women do have done the same shit though too, of retaliating the wrong way. So it's not really a double standard. It's more of a I wouldn't really say catch 22 either, but it's more of a humanitarian aspect to the points to where women and men have a complete misunderstanding about even themselves at times. But yet, the more men go Mgtow, the more they're able to understand themselves as well, while staying away from the manipulation and biological, emotional drainage and financial drainage from women, done by women, essentially. And now women are still going, where are the good? And yet, women have continuously aspired to go towards wealthy men like fucking the Facebook dude, Zuckerberg, and um, and uh, and also the Microsoft inventor, and also the one that has started a person like one that started Apple. Of course, I know the one that started Apple wasn't alone. But the basic fact is, he teamed up with another dude, and they both orchestrated and integrated everything into what we use today. The one thing is, that's the type of woman, the type of guy that women want to aspire to get to. just so they can use their manipulation and other tactics. But yet, when it comes to guys like myself, that are making it just as good or basically even close to it, or as best as the guy can possibly make it realistically, even if they are working and whatnot, right? They don't go for people like me. They go for those ones that they obviously can't reach for, or try even do their damnedest to reach for. And the way they've been trying to do it is by going after men that um that that they think they can get away with and fucking just manipulate them and practically take them for everything that they have in order to aspire to be towards the same fucking financial stature as the men out there that started, like I said, Facebook and Apple and Microsoft and various other companies. They can't be happy for what's realistically out there and what it's realistically where they're able to get without going towards the illogical, irrational, non-realistic shit. Yeah, I can understand if you want to go have a good life, but you don't have a good life just by screwing over other men, by taking them for everything they have, just so you can try to reach, have a better reach for the ones that are already up in the wealthy stature. Because obviously it shows that you're not truly happy with yourself. And you have to be happy within yourself before you go in with anybody at all. Doesn't matter and it doesn't matter what financial stature that they have. Women don't see that. Women are so blindsided with shit, even by the feminist movement. They're not able to see the reality of things. They may say the same thing about men, but guess what? Though we men, even Mgtow men, have have been more than content. If we meet a woman, cool. But the basic fact is that we don't know if that woman at times will try to play act all sweet and innocent. Yet we got them right. The men got them, but yet really they got us. And then they start fucking trying to aspire for what's out there in the sense of this. But like I said though, is that when I was married, um, that I never had a woman like that though. That did exactly what many other women out there are doing. The only reason she's not with me is because of the smoking. If you want to call me a blue pill just because I want to make sure that she's okay, aside from the fact that aside from the fact of our particular parental situation, although I'm not going to say if we have a parental situation or not, but even if we do or do not, I'm not going to say what one way or the other. But the basic fact is I'm a caring person. I make sure a person is okay. I'm an advocate though too, as many of you know. I'm an advocate, a humanitarian advocate. I have a caring heart, but the basic fact is the reason I would do that is because I know she didn't do what many other women are doing to many other men. And the women that have done negative shit to many Mgtow members and brothers. I know you men might think, even if the woman were to take advantage of me and try to take me for everything I have, would I still do that? What the hell are you smoking? If a woman did any manipulation towards me and hung a child over my head is a manipulation of to where she has full control over me and what I do and what she feels that she's mostly entitled to. You think I'd fucking deal with it? No, I won't. If she can't handle the fucking fact of equal rights and equal freedoms within the marriage, as long as there's no cheating and no backstabbing of any sort and what have you else, then everything's on the up and up. But if she fucking goes to where she feels that she's more entitled, I'd fucking leave her ass. But here's the thing though too. There's a very tight clincher of this one. With all the knowledge that if you watch my advocate videos, Mgtow members and brothers and non-Mgtow members and brothers that are thinking of going Mgtow possibly. If you watch my videos of both Mgtow and also of my advocate videos, both NCHA, which is the only one, there's only one left, and also of mostly which is CRPHA, you'll see knowledge and the knowledge that I have on various different things. And as you can tell, I have knowledge on many on and about women, and it has nothing to do with age either. Although many people think it does have to do with age, and yet you could be in your 20s or teens and still have the same fucking knowledge that I do. And see, that's another thing right there too. There's another one. Thought this. I've thought about this continuously. Why are women so turned backish when it comes to a person like me? Would it be the way that I look? The way that I dress? Because I can always wear something else besides this shirt. Or is it the fact that they can see, or at least think they can see the fucking fact that I'm on to their manipulation and their bullshit mind games? Or are they completely afraid of intelligent men, such as myself? So much so that if they try to pull something, that they fucking be caught and found out while with me. Because in actuality, if they claimed, "Oh, we're not afraid of intelligent men. We'll be with an intelligent man," or really, I'm intelligent. I'm not Einstein, but I'm intelligent. And I know many other Mgtow men have their own types of intelligence too. Why aren't women going for men like myself? And yet they claim to be, if they claim to be non-fearful of men like me. There hasn't been one indication of them not showing you any non-fear. Yet, when I was wearing my tan hat with the Mgtow labeling on, thing on it, right? And she just came up to me and looked at me at one point while I was loading up the taxi with my groceries, as if a certain stare was going to do anything. as if what she had to say in a stare without saying shit had anything to do with why she came up to me. Like I'm supposed to be fucking fearing that shit. I didn't fear it. I just said, okay, what the fuck you? I didn't say that exactly vocally, outright, but I looked at like whatever, you know. I just went about my business, and eventually she walked away. Of course, I know that, but I didn't see her walk away because I can care less. But yet, when I was over at the mall, at the mall, at one of the malls close by where I'm at. And there was a number of women, and I had my advocate vest on, and I sat like just a few inches across from the one woman, and I know she pretended not to see me, but I knew she saw me. Yet, the only time she acknowledged my existence essentially is when she was with her little friends. She kind of looked over at me and smiled and waved at me and shit, and I waved back. That didn't say, oh, I know you're interested in me. The basic fact is that I was just doing what an advocate does to make sure to see what I can do to help businesses stay in the state of California, in which that's part of my job. I analyze things, research things, but yet, even while I was doing it, I didn't have one woman come up to me as if she had any interest in wanting to be with me. Of course, this was before I went fully Mgtow, of what I'm referring to. And of course, the same thing before I went fully Mgtow when it came to Jill Dixon, aka Jill Yeaman. So obviously, they are fearful of men like myself. Yes, I'm a Marine son. Yes, I'm an advocate. I'm a humanitarian advocate. Yes, I have knowledge of women, and not because I was raised by women, but the basic fact is that I have seen what's out there. I have seen what's out there from my teenage and I've dealt with what's been out there. Yes, I've been cheated on. And yes, I made the fucking mistake of giving him more than one chance. But like I said, I'm only gonna give a woman one chance. She screws up at any point, even if she tries to hide shit from me, she's out that door. Yet women want us to be honest and truthful with them on every little fucking thing, but yet they act like they're untrue, truth and honest about them when really they know within their minds and hearts, and within themselves, they're hiding something. They don't want the guy to know about it because it's either they're too afraid of losing what they are trying to aspire to get, while they continuously manipulate the man, and then right when they get it get the marriage aspect, then they think, okay, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do now and manipulate, lie, bullshit, cheat, even more so. That's what women are thinking. That's what most women think. There's only been only one, outside the smoking. There's only been one that doesn't do the manipulation and cheating and shit like that. And And then, like I said, I divorced her because of the smoking. And I'm not gonna accuse her because of a particular mental situation. If it was the case of that, I'm not going to, because obviously she had many many positive things about her. It was just the fact that I didn't want to breathe in smoke to the point of secondhand smoke, because secondhand smoke can kill you a lot quicker than just actually smoking. And I'm not promoting the smoke either, but I'm telling you the truth. I don't. I quit smoke. I smoked when I was about 17. Quit. I was about to quit at 21, and continuously smoking. Then I automatically quit smoking at 22. If you're wondering if I still drink alcohol, I quit drinking alcohol at the age of 30. But the basic fact is, yes, I did do an occasional drink when I was hanging out with my close friend, and who I consider a brother, and who's told me some time ago that he's moving to New York, which really blows, because now I won't be able to hang with him even if I were to come over to Silicon Valley anymore. Yes, we had our differences, we had our arguments, but the basic fact is, he should still know, if it came down to it, I would still defend him, because he's like a brother to me, essentially. And that's the truth. Is he's always been like a brother to me. And yes, he's with a woman that doesn't like me, obviously. Well, that's another trait about women, though, too. Once they know how close you are friends with somebody, they'll try to separate the two friends and try to manipulate the guy to the points to where there's no more friendship between the two friends, male friends, essentially. And I believe that's exactly what she's doing. Her name is Rachel. If she wasn't doing that, then um why the continuously friendship thing with me when I was around him and her, and then right when I'm not around him and her, that there was off and on Facebook chat, on Facebook Messenger. Obviously, she was orchestrating shit, while she also manipulates my friend, and I don't agree with that. Yes, they had a child together. And yes, she's trying to make him happy, but the fact of it is that I have a feeling my friend can see that she's trying to get it to where she's happy and forget about him. But she won't tell him straight out, right? So therefore, if my friend Miguel Notario is watching this video, I urge you to go Mgtow. Take the metaphorical and not the real one, the metaphorical red pill, and get away from women's manipulative bullshit. Because she may feel that she's entitled to more than you, my friend, than anything. More than she'll even admit that she try to play act like him. Oh yeah, I know you're entitled to equal as I am, but yet she feels that she's more entitled than you. That's how women are nowadays, and it's all due to mainly to start with the feminist movement. the feminist movement is brainwashing the woman. And yet many women are still unhappy, even the single ones, even the divorced ones, because once they get what they want, be that to the point of divorce, they're still not happy. Yet they want to try to portray like they would be, but they're not. That's why I mentioned what a tangle web we weave, women, huh? You women do a fucking spider web aspect of things, and you consider yourselves to be satisfied and justified by doing so, and yet you're still not happy, even after the fact that the guy works to benefit both sides, and besides the child, if you have a child together, and to make a better living as much as possible, but you're still not happy. You can't handle reality, obviously. You can't handle the complexity of things. The simple complexity things that both marriages are supposed to help each other and support each other through. But right when it comes to marriage, you take the guy for everything he has, expect him to work his ass off, like the one woman that called Mgtow men misogynistic. She also made it, like I said, and I know I mentioned this into a video, into one of my other videos. She expects the guy to work even like a second job, even harder, just so the woman's financial stature is repaired. Forget about the male's. Forget about the male's financial stature. She only cares about the woman, and yet she thinks that's justified. If she's watching, it's not justified. And like I said, this is the same woman that I may have sounded like I had sympathy for, but I don't. The same woman that I found out has some psychological, emotional problems due to, of course, a chemical chemical imbalance within the brain. It's not emotional. It's not the way the attitude wise, but it's more medical and psychological. Thereby, she claimed to read that she's a reader, yet she voiced out things about men on the two of her videos that made no fucking sense. She does not know men. She does not know what the fuck she's talking about. Yes, she wants a friend. If you want a friend, you don't diss and act like you know what you're talking about, especially when it comes to Mgtow, and especially when it comes to many other things. And you claim that you're a reader while you're making the video, just so you can try to get people to like you. If you don't like yourself, then how can people like you if you don't like yourself? If you don't respect yourself, how can you expect people to respect you? This is all for this is for the women right here on this part of it. If women truly wanted to have a a happy marriage, they wouldn't take the guy for everything that they got and hang an innocent human being, such as a child, over their head, so the woman feels justified and to where she has full control over the marriage. The base of actual fairness is to where both have this equal control over the marriage and help each other through different situations and issues, especially emotional as well as financial and psychological. But women don't want that because the feminist movement has brainwashed them ever since. That's why that's why the divorce rate is so fucking high right now. And that's why there's so many fucking single mothers. And women think that they can take care of a child and be the male figure as well as the female figure for the child, both be even if the child's a son or a daughter. A woman nor man can fill the shoes of the two. They only can do the best they can with being the gender that they are. But every child needs both a male and a female figure. But with the divorce rate, with the fact that there's single mothers, it is not likely that the child would have both still around. It's because of the illogical actions and thoughts and what have you of the fucking female. And yet, of course, I do have I have a bit of emotional humanitarian advocate type of sympathy for and heart actually for the woman that has a child that she called in the Tom Leykis show, and due to the fact that the child had no male figure around, that the child opted to try to kill himself, and I mean himself. And she was frantic. I mean, she was frantic, crying over the phone and everything. And believe me, if I could help her, I would. But with that, I'm gonna ask every member of Mgtow to pray for her because she's obviously not with the feminist movement. Although I'm not gonna say she would do the same thing as every other woman would do. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna judge her on any level. But the basic fact is she had full care and concern about for her child. She admits that she did the wrong thing when it came to the male figure, but the basic fact is, um, many women are not waking up to that aspect. Is that the same shit can happen to them? They could fall in the same fucking circle as it were, toward the child ends up wanting to fucking end their life because of the fact that there's no father figure around. Be that biological father figure around. Because of the fucking females manipulative actions and fucking thinking that they're more entitled than the guy is on every fucking level, practically. It's no longer like the Leave It to Beaver aspect to where the woman and man stay together not only for the children but because they truly love each other, and they notice that they will change at some point emotionally as well as psychologically, but they're able to work things out with one another still. That's not the way things are now. They're not even like the Family Ties family set to where both Elise and Michael Keaton are able to work things out and still have differences and argue, but still be together because they truly love each other, and it's not and they're not being together because of the child or children essentially either, because they want to, and because they truly, honestly, without a fucking doubt in their minds, love each other and care for and about each other, and have and will always help each other through the many differences. That's not the way things are out there because of the feminist movement. The feminist movement is fucked up shit all the way through. Women think they should have more entitlement than men is because and yet they act like that the guys are equally entitled as women. Yet yet as they know they got the guy, when they know they got the guy, they fucking take him for everything that the dude has, and they think that's justified. Ew. Nothing like that's ever justified. And now many women are wondering why there's not any good guys out there, because the good guys are still going Mgtow because of the manipulative bullshit and psychological bullshit and the mental controlling type of bullshit that women are doing, because and it's all due to the feminism. Of course, there would have been even more good guys if the LBGT thing was not existent. But yet those men would probably go Mgtow as well. But obviously they're LBGT already, so that's all right. That's out the door. So essentially, women have fucked shit up because of their actions. They think they're justified. They think they're entitled to more than men. They think they have full understanding about men. Of course, women think that men think that they understand women. There are men that don't understand women. Yes, that's a given. But the fact of it is that I've been around long enough to understand women more than anybody realizes. I'm not going to talk myself up, but I'm telling you. So, getting back onto what I was saying about Chris Dixon. Chris Dixon, I respect you. I would still consider you my friend if you want to consider you my friend, you a friend of mine as well. That's cool. But if you don't, yeah, that's your right too. I'm not gonna force the issue. But the basic fact is that Chris Dixon, I'm telling you the truth. She was on the phone with me as I was helping her out emotionally, psychologically, especially when it came to a particular situation that she was concerned about, and when it came to her female friends and everything that she knew online. And then somewhere along the lines, it got to the point where she thought she asked me if I'd come down to hang with her sometime, and of course I'd be able to get home somehow. But the hours in between, while you're not around, who's to say what would have happened? But the basic fact is that women play shit all the time because they think they can get away with it. In fact, they believe that they can get away with shit. Go Mgtow. If any one of you men want me to discuss a topic just like Sandman does, just let me know. mention on the bottom, and I'll do what I can. But also, there will be two things. Or generally just basically one, really, to start with. There might be two things, but the first thing would be a Mgtow blog page on the bottom of the screen. And also, there will be also possibly the video link to what I mentioned about the Tom Leykis show when it comes to women in spring break. That should show you the illogical actions and thought processes of what they consider men and they think they can get away with, and turn around and act all sweet and innocent when they're really not. And it goes even deeper than that. Watch that, and you'll see what I mean. That's all I have to say right now for this topic, or this video. Of course, there was a number of topics anyway. For all Mgtow members and brothers and non-Mgtow members, or soon to be Mgtow, don't become a mangina. Don't become a blue pill or metaphorical burgundy or purple pill. And always take the metaphorical red pill. Stay clear from women's manipulative bullshit and mind games, backstabbing, sneaky little bull bitches type of shit, you know what I mean? And don't fall for their vocal, emotional, touchy-feely shit either. Even their little batting eye crap either. And also, stay strong, live long, and prosper.